Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Happy, what is today? Thursday? Happy Thursday to you and your family. We're taking a look here at Ben, seeing what's going on with old Ben Dog here. We're going to take a quick peek at some Elliott wave theory and a handful of other factors. So be sure to stick around through to the end. Don't be the dude that fast forwards to the end to try to get the answer, because it's really not how it works. You kind of got to understand what's going on in the big picture and work your way down. So just don't do yourself a disservice and just take a shortcut. No one likes somebody that takes shortcuts, right? Okay, that being said, if you want to learn a lot more and become a better trader, CryptoCash.tech is a site, link down below. We've also got an awesome partnership here with BingX to kind of replace Bybit, for lack of better terms, because there's no KYC or VPN required in Canada, Europe, Oceania, US, UK, and they give you a $100 trading bonus with no volume or deposit required. Really cool thing. Keep in mind it's only for the first 100 users, and the majority of my members have already used that, but there's still a few slots left available. Be sure to check that out. Okay, so with Ben, yesterday when we talked about this, the price action was still fluctuating, going up and down. What we're looking though at is a potential retracement level. So what it's done so far is retrace to the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement, which is roughly about 21,000. And that is an area in which we want to pay attention to, okay? So just keep in mind that is a potential option there. The daily doesn't tell us too much here though, just based on the fact that we don't have enough trading data to really look at where we're at right now, okay? So we're going to rely on smaller time frames for that. If we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, we are kind of testing this ascending type of trend. If we take a look at the moving averages, there's not a lot here. Once again, just the two, but we can see the 200-day, correction, the 20-day simple moving average is working its way up as a potential trend line and effectively going to potentially hold the price action in place. We want to pay attention to that because the 20-day, either on the 4-hour or the 1-hour, are good trend setters, and they really help us understand where, which direction the price is going. As soon as you break below that level, you want to be kind of, I wouldn't say, you don't just go crazy and sell. You pay attention, of course, and see what's going on. You want to pay closer attention because that's a key level support in most cases when you're on the right side of that, and it helps to understand where you're at. Speaking of support, we are still above 50 on the hour side, but just below 70. We finally tapered off there, which is good. You don't want to be overextended for too long. Take a look at TD sequential here. We can see we're in extreme overtime. We're looking, finally got that reset there. And then we got this MACD divergence on the horizon. So talked about this yesterday. We're starting to lose that little bit of momentum. We're hitting that top, that shelf, and now it's getting closer. So just pay attention to this. If and when this crosses over and concurrently we're testing that 20-day set moving average, there's a decent chance we'll either see a bounce or a drop. Again, the bounce can happen at this 0.5 Fibonacci level. You'll see this happen quite often. 0.5 is a very common characteristic as far as an area in which the price will like to continue away from, okay? So it's like this magneticism that pulls it to it, and then it also has this bouncing thing where it likes to bounce off. So it would make sense for the price to kind of bounce off that level. Keep in mind there's a different whole nother scenario that we want to take a look at in the hourly here with our Elliott wave. So this is what I want to talk about. This kind of tells us that the bottom could potentially be in as far as this next leg up. Keep in mind the next leg up, and if we go ahead and remove these fibs and draw out some new ones, you can kind of see here that the price action, if it were to come up, it could very well bounce and reject off of these levels here. Okay, so keep in mind the price comes up from here if it were to, and this is just say the new bottom, this is the new A from our Elliott wave. We can see obviously that the price action at 23,000, 24,006, and 25,8 would be 3 potential retracement levels. In other words, we've had our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. We haven't fulfilled our ABC yet. Okay, so hypothetically, this is telling us that the top could be in. And if that is the top, once again, this has to be the bottom. And then we'll see the next up higher high be basically a lower high. Okay, so it's lower high and lower lows until we hit a C. This is not a 100% guarantee. Keep that in mind. It's just a theory for a reason. It's called Elliott wave theory for a reason. Okay, so just kind of giving you a potential play out there in that regard. That being said, when we take a look at just say some other standard factors, we can take a look at TD sequential. We are not overextended to the downside, but we got maybe 3 hours left of continuation down before the price bounces back. It's common for the price to go roughly 9 hours or 9 candlesticks in either direction before it reverses itself. So we're roughly 2/3 of the way down there. We take a look at Ichimoku cloud. This is where things get kind of interesting. We did a nice little dip there. We bounced off the cloud. So as long as we can hold this ascending trend, and you can see that ascending trend meeting with the cloud here, as long as we can hold that, we're going to be in pretty good shape to see the price action continue upwards. However, if the price goes sideways like this, then obviously not good. If it goes sideways like this, even still, it's not great either because the cloud will need to average itself out. And this is a really big indicator, just kind of letting you know the momentum and which side of the tracks you're on. The key here is that the lagging spans intersect with the price action already. So it tells us that if you have a long position, you should have trimmed it by now. It also tells us here with the conversion line below the baseline, we're losing that momentum. to the downside, and there's potential for a divergence. Once again, we saw this potential on the 4-hour with the MACD. Okay, so keep in mind, this is something we want to pay attention to. This is the biggest one for me that I'm looking forward to understanding. And if we can stay above the cloud, this won't even happen. We won't get a divergence whatsoever. We'll get potentially even convergence or a bounce off this level, which happens right here. It's referred to as a MACDFU. I'm coining that phrase because it's happened with Bitcoin 3 times in a row, where every time you think you're going to get a convergence, FU goes right back down the other direction, right? So keep in mind, this can, just because it's coming down like this doesn't mean it's just going to go right down. It can potentially bounce and continue the other way. All right, anyways, if you're not familiar with that, I talk about this in my trading academy. CryptoCash.tech is where you can register for that if you're considering that. Got a lot of cool new members coming over, so great to be able to work with you there. And keep getting advantage of this free bonus here. It's really awesome to be able to have that. But we really do look forward to working with you, honestly. But there's not much else I can think of that we need to really extract here, right? We've kind of determined that we're in this ascending trend. Until we break this ascending trend, we can expect it to continue. We got to pay attention to the cloud, though, in the next 24 hours, and of course that MACD divergence likely the next 48. Those are things I'm going to pay attention to. We'll reevaluate once again this time tomorrow, see where we're at here, but I'm still leaning more towards the price continuing up from here, getting a little bounce, but there's a good chance this could be the lower high, right? And it could be establishing a lower low as well as we speak. We will see here soon. I hope that worked out well for you and that made sense and I described things correctly. Thanks again for watching. Greatly appreciate your support. Like, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.